My name's Tim Jefferies. I'm the owner of Hamilton's Gallery, and I'm joined today in my office by the illustrious Philippe Garner. Philippe has had a 50-year career in the auction business, involved with photography, but more importantly, Philippe was a close personal friend of Helmut Newton from 1975 right through Helmut's life. And Philippe and I are going to discuss a little about the exhibition currently on here at the gallery, Helmut Newton's High Gloss. Thank you, Philippe, for coming in today.
My pleasure. My pleasure to have become involved in the putting together of the show and the wonderful publication that accompanies it.
I want anybody who might be watching this to appreciate that this collection, this gathering of these ferrotyped prints is probably the only time, I think, that I can imagine you'll ever see this number of prints of this type together again.
You know, Helmut loved those ferrotype prints. That's what he loved to see in the 70s. We saw them on the walls of his very first exhibitions. He made very few print sales in the 70s. And when his print sales really started to gain traction in the 80s, he defaulted because it was easier to a conventional finish.
Right.
So those high gloss prints are of the greatest rarity, and they do define that golden moment of the 70s. They're stunning prints. He loved the hardness of that surface. There's a coldness to Helmut's work which is so distinctive, and he gave the prints themselves that cold, hard look. Also, that technique of finishing them seems to have intensified the blacks. They are rich, rich blacks, so the tonal range of those prints is knockout. And he always tried to capture in his pictures, however polished and meticulous they are, that grit of truth, that grit of reality. It may be the texture of the street at night or the authenticity of a setting, so that they combine artifice and document.
Yeah, he was an extraordinary man, wasn't he?
Helmut had a complex, a perverse, delightful personality, great fun to be with, and there's a humour to that perversity of Helmut's.
Very much so.
That kind of leavens the mix. The pictures get under your skin, they disconcert, they seduce you, but trouble you at the same time. But everything he did had a unique stamp, and that was the Helmut Newton stamp.
So difficult to, I think in any art form, but in particular with photography, to be distinctive, to be original and distinctive. And I think one of the things that we agree wholeheartedly on is that Newton's look is extraordinarily distinctive, but still today, 50 years later, looks as fresh
it's
and
fresh
exciting
because
as
it has such integrity. So many stories woven through, such a complex way of looking at women, at people, at the worlds that he had observed so closely. I know you've put together a remarkable group of pictures, and they make my heart pound to really go. It's like a time machine to go back to those golden years when Helmut, who had a good degree of peer respect in the business built up through the years, somehow exploded and reached another level in the 70s and became a figure on the world stage, as celebrated, and justly so, as so many of the people that he photographed.